What about other ex-Scientologists making you an enemy and targeting you? Because that's been some of my worst, and I talked to Sam Young about this. He's the guy who's doing activism to help prevent child abuse and to help prevent these one-on-one interviews with church leaders where kids are getting raped and abused and shamed and all that, pornography and masturbation shame and LGBT reparative therapy stuff is coming out of these one-on-one interviews with bishops. And Sam, talked to me about the friendly fire and how oftentimes his worst adversity is from other ex-Mormons and other post-Mormons. If you had to deal with any of that, ex-Scientologists, turf battles, envy, jealousy, and ex-Scientologists making you a target.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me about that, because I get that, and it's probably the worst of the worst.
I know it can be, and that's the thing that I have to balance a lot of the Scientology.
What has happened with you? What happened?
Well, I'll tell you. So, but first I want to say something about this because it's important that I say this as a precursor, okay? I've experienced a lot of shellackings, a lot of nonsense, a lot of trolling from ex-Scientologists. There are people who absolutely hate me and everything I stand for and call me a hypocrite and call me a liar and say I don't know what I'm talking about. And the motivations for this are legion. I mean, there is jealousy. There's no question there's jealousy because I have a platform and it's a growing platform and they don't. And they're jealous of that. That's definitely the case. There's also just people who disagree with what I have to say and they see things differently. They like some problems, some aspects of Scientology that I've trashed or some experiences of Scientology that they've had that I didn't have or that I don't see it that way. And so therefore I don't know what I'm talking about. Or, I never worked directly under David Miscavige like they did. So I can't understand, blah, 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 right? It's like, okay, got it. My view is that we are all facing a common enemy, and the bickering and the nonsense and the drama and the feuding and stuff that goes on in this world, in the ex-Scientology world, is frankly ridiculous to me. I've dived into the dramas. I've dived into the personality clashes. I've had other exes fighting other exes, and I've tried to play peacemaker and almost routinely get egg on my face for it. And I try to keep that kind of stuff behind the scenes, even not on the public front, because I'm aware that there's a public perception from non-former members of the community. And I would like to have it be as unified a message as possible. But I've come to learn that that is impossible. People are the way they are, and not everybody is going to be on the same page. I would prefer that we all recognize and realize that we are not each other's enemies and that it's the cults that are the bad guys here, not each other. But again, I've had to give up on that rather optimistic view because there are some people who just will not be placated and they will not see reason. And I don't know what to say about them, except I have to move on from that. So I have, I've always tried to go back and give people a second or even third chance when I block them or they block me or something. About a year ago, I did a whole Facebook revamp and unblocked everybody and tried to make good with people and stuff. And in a couple of cases that worked, and in some cases it didn't. And
the people continue to be they continue to be have animosity and try and undermine what you're doing, and so you have to block them again. I've had to do that so much, and I felt so alone because all these ex-Mormons are like, John, you block people, you block too many people. And I'm like, but if somebody is trying to use your platform to destroy you, and you're just trying to do good, and then all these people want to destroy you from your own platform, do you let them stay on your platform and destroy you, or do you block them, not just to keep them from destroying you, but to preserve your own sanity, mental health, and well-being, because it's just toxic to be around people that want to destroy you.
Exactly. And this is where you have to make a very clear, statement about, disconnection and forced shunning is bad because it's enforced, not because disconnecting from a toxic element in your life is a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with disconnecting from toxic elements in your life, including people who don't have your best interests at heart. And unfortunately, when you start uttering opinions on a public forum, there are going to be people who are going to disagree with you in the community or outside of the community. And they're going to somehow, there are a couple of these people who somehow feel that it's their mission to educate other people about the evils of you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give that person.
Welcome to my life, Chris Shelton.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, it's all of us. And I'm going to give this person carte blanche to character assassinate me on my own Facebook page.
Yeah.
Come on. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I tend to block them and move on, mute and ignore. It's been a hard-won lesson. I've tried to reason with, I've tried to reach out, I've tried to apologize. I have literally publicly apologized for blocking people, saying, okay, let's make this work. And it doesn't. And you realize that, it's a harsh, but it's a harsh truth, but one that we have to acknowledge, that not everybody who comes out of these groups comes out and gets themselves the psychological help that they need.
Yeah.
And I am not trying to put myself on some pedestal or say that I've got all this figured out, because believe me, I don't. If you've listened to everything I've said here, you know that I know that I got a long way to go with stuff, and I am far from perfect. But you will not see me trashing other Scientology critics in the public forum. You will never see me do that.
Yeah.